but I didn't really have a whole lot of a lesson planned. But I thought we would kind of discuss and talk about feelings and what you discovered, or what kind of surprises or things that you discovered as you went through the week and through the lesson this week. Were you guys able to pinpoint what your top 3 emotions are?
Yeah, for sure.
I had a list and then I had to narrow them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of C words. But how about you, Kara? What did you narrow yours down to?
Like mine, I feel happy a lot, which was good. I thought like just be able to recognize that most of my day I feel happy. And but I don't always think about that when I'm going through like in the morning or at night. Like I remember the anxiety. So I also feel a lot of anxiety. That's like a huge theme for my whole life is I always feel a lot of anxiety. And then I feel a lot of determination. I feel like that's the way I decide to get through the day. I'll wake up, I'll feel anxious or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but I'm going to get these things done. And then I just feel a lot of determination to just get it done, just do it, my stuff done. And some of those I'm like, maybe I don't need to be so determined all the time. Maybe I do. I don't know. It was interesting to just kind of, where do I apply that determination? So like the whole worksheet was really, really good for me to like, determination might be really good in some areas, but not other areas, and
well, it has that push through energy, right?
Right.
And
so
is that always necessary?
Right. And like that's great energy when I really want ice cream at 3:00 in the afternoon. And I'm like, it does not fit in my meal plan. So let me, push through and do something different. But it is not helpful when my kids are doing this or that thing. And I'm like, no, we need to get this done, or I want you to do something to meet my goals for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm applying that determination to like somebody else.
Yeah, because you want someone else to experience your determination.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting though, that we're like, I'm feeling motivated by this feeling. Like, I'm determined. Why aren't you determined?
Right. That we are going to get like all of this, whatever housework or all of this something done, or we're going to walk a mile at the mall or something. And then I'm just like, I can totally overdo it and put that, I want my kids to feel that determination. Yeah. So I felt like determination was kind of a funny one for me, that is both useful and not. And so more aware of it.
Right.
I do feel it most days. Most days I feel some kind of determination to do something.
Right. And where does that feeling of determination come from for you?
It comes from my thoughts. Like it definitely, like I can see, I think that one was my easiest one to say. That is really my thoughts. That I want to feel accomplished at the end of the day. I want to not feel like I wasted time. Like I want to prove that I'm doing the right thing in my life. Sometimes like it's even that much, like that I didn't make, that homeschooling is not a mistake, or that homeschooling the way I do is not a mistake, or whatever. Like I always, like I want to prove that my decisions are the right thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's definitely that like anxiety is often a feeling, we talked about this before, that I feel before I think. And so, but I'm feeling that it's coming back because of the thoughts. So I'll feel anxiety and then I'll have these 75 thoughts about it. And then that's why it comes back. Like if I can get, if I can tell myself a new story and work on the thoughts, then the anxiety might not come back first all the time.
Well, it's interesting because sometimes, right, like our feelings, like a sense of that heightened anxiety, it may have some kind of physiological root.
Right. I take anxiety medication because I do. I have it to a point where it can totally disrupt my life, and I can't sleep is really what happens. I won't be able to sleep
Yeah.
because I get racing like images of something happening to my kids while I'm asleep. So I have to like get up and check on them and make sure that's okay. And I feel like once I get to that point, like that's where like the medication needs to help me balance so that I can do the thought work, if that makes sense. Like the medication helps is
Right.
one, and then the thought work is another. But I feel like as I do the thought work, the anxiety can minimalize down too, because I'm feeling the feeling and then redirecting towards a different thought.
Yeah. Well, and in that instance, right, anxiety is your circumstance. Sometimes that's what happens. Like you notice, I'm experiencing this feeling, I'm feeling this feeling, and the anxiety is your circumstance. And then what happens is you can have a thought like, this is a problem. I notice I am feeling anxiety, and then this is a problem. Or what else do you think when you notice that
I
anxiety?
definitely go into resistance. Like I try to, because I do, I'll say this is a problem, or
I need to make this go away.
just go away. I think abstractly, so I'm really been working on trying to like put more concrete like words to my thoughts lately. But yeah, just trying like it's that like alleviation of pressure, and then sometimes I'm trying to either prove is it is it right or is it wrong? Like, am I having anxiety for a reason that I need to pay attention to because something bad is going to happen? Or am I having anxiety because I just have a chemical imbalance? So I'll start trying to find evidence, whether the anxiety.
Right. And so then your action is like, you have to figure it out.
Right. So I go and like figure it out. I have to.
You figure it out, and then and spinning thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you just and then what's the result of that?
I'm distracted.
What?
I'm distracted.
You're distracted and you create a bigger problem, right?
Right.
So when you notice that anxiety, have you found thoughts that help you instead of that create a different experience rather than the spinning out?
Yeah. So I've been working, like I really like this. We're also simultaneously with this doing Jody Moore's family home evening lessons, and this week was about feeling your feelings. And so I can notice it, and then I can tell myself, I'm just feeling anxiety. Like, just don't give it any power whatsoever to be right or be wrong. Like,
I'm a woman feeling anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm just standing here feeling some anxiety. And like, what does it feel like in my stomach? I kind of feel a tightness. Or how does that anxiety feel in your body?
It feels like energy. Like literally it feels like there's like a ball of energy in my upper chest that just has to do something. Like it has to go somewhere, do something. So I can identify what it feels like in my body. I can tell myself that it's just something I'm experiencing, and there doesn't have to be a reason. Like I don't have to figure it out.
Right. You don't have to figure it out.
Right.
Another thing you could try is, instead of this is a problem, right? Like I'm just feeling anxiety. You can start to notice all the reasons that you're safe.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
You can start to look around and find, or I'm feeling anxiety because of sentences in my brain.
Right.
Sometimes I really like that thought. Like, this is not really rooted in reality, and start looking around yourself to see all the reasons that you're safe. But another helpful thing that I found with some of my kids that have anxiety is we talk about, like, how does this feel in your body? What are other feelings? What are other emotions that feel really similar to anxiety? That energetic feeling in your chest. Right?
I'm gonna have to pause out for just a second.
That's fine.
But I need to go
Cute
get
little Julia.
Yeah, she just woke up.
Look at her.
Julia doesn't be awake yet.
Well, we'll come back to that in a minute, Kara. So how about you, Jennifer? Were you able to pinpoint your top 3 emotions?
Yeah. They're pretty crazy.
So what did you come to?
Overwhelmed is my top one.
Overwhelmed.
So.
And then what were your others?
Drained. I'm gonna cry. Sorry.
Drained.
And then just annoyed.
Overwhelmed, drained, and annoyed.
It's been a week.
Yeah. So, do you know why you feel overwhelmed?
Yes, because I have a heap of things that need to be done.
Is it because of the heap of things?
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot to put an F in here.
Oh, that's okay. It's because I actually realize it's because my brain looks at them all as a whole, and I just see this pile instead of individual chunks.
So the circumstance is your to-do list.
Yes, my to-do list is huge.
So and you know what? Like, even saying this is a heap of things or this is huge, that's not your circumstance.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
That's your thought.
Yep.
Like, this is huge.
Yep.
Or this is too much.
Yep.
And that creates that feeling of overwhelm. Can you see this, or is it too glary with the window?
I can see part of it.
Maybe let me move it and see if I can make it more visible. How about that?
That works.
Is that better?
Yeah.
A little bit better?
Yep.
I can see more of it anyway.
Yeah, it's because I'm in front of my window, then the lighting's good on my face, but then
I know I'm in the shadow of mine.
but okay. There, I'm kind of in between the two window glares.
There you go.
Right? So your to-do list is your circumstance.
Yeah.
And your thought when you see that to-do list is, this is huge. And this is just way too much. This is a heap of things.
Yep.
Oh, I'm tipping. Okay. All right. And so when you feel overwhelmed, how do you act?
It usually makes me just kind of shut down and push it all out. I buffer really good.
Shut down. Shut down. Or push things away, procrastinate.
Yes, I avoid the list. I do everything that, can wait till next year, and I try want to do it now instead.
Avoid. So then what's your result from that?
I get nothing done.
No, you'd get things done.
Yeah.
You get more things done than you need to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get way too much done. You do too much. Right? Your result from that action of avoiding and buffering, we can just put buffering here as your action.
Yeah.
Right? That makes your list even bigger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Can you see how like this might not even be true?
Yeah.
Can you see how maybe the list isn't that huge?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you want to feel about your to-do list?
That I have enough time.
That you have enough time?
Yeah.
Now that would, what kind of feeling do you want to feel? What's a one-word emotion that you want to feel about your life, about all the things that you have to do? Do you want to feel like Kara goes to determination? Do you want to feel capable?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go and just take these things off. So you look at your to-do list and you've got homeschooling your children and doing stuff for LDSHE and making dinner and cleaning the bathroom.
I don't do bathrooms anymore.
Right? Or seeing to it that someone else cleans the bathroom, managing the bathroom, right? Whatever,
Yeah.
right, is on your to-do list. Reading your scriptures, all those things, okay?
Yep.
Those things are on your to-do list. And your thought, we need to find a thought that your brain can believe that will get you to capable. Because if you think the thought, I have enough time, do you believe that?
Not usually.
What if we said, it's possible I have enough time?
Yeah, that's totally different.
Is that different?
Yeah.
Or what about, here, let's just try a few of these things on. It's possible I have enough time. Or it could be, I will get the most important things done.
Yeah.
Or I can get the most important things done. This is a hard one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our brain wants to tell us we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
And that does create a sense of overwhelm and a huge feeling of kind of a burden, right? We feel weighed down.
Mm-hmm.
But we all have the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
But we do only have a limited amount of energy.
Yeah.
And what happens is when we start to see ourselves as like a victim of our list,
mm-hmm.
right? Like our list is persecuting us. And I am overwhelmed and it's the list's fault, right? Who made the list?
That's fine. Me.
So another thought you could go to is, I chose all these things because I want to do them.
Yeah.
Right? I want to participate in LDSHE. I want to homeschool my children. I want to learn math with whoever, or I want to whatever it is on your to-do list. What are the things on there that make you feel most overwhelmed?
Homeschooling and website, the new website. Yeah. Huge,
Yeah. Well, and so sometimes is your thought, is it that I don't have enough time, or is it I don't know how to do this?
Both.
That's making you feel overwhelmed.
Both.
Yeah. What if you went to like, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
It's okay if I don't know how to do this. I can figure this out.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just going to write that one on here.
Yeah.
Because is that true?
Yeah.
Anything that you have to do in homeschooling, do you have a way to figure that out?
Yeah.
How?
I ask people who are a couple steps ahead of me
Mm-hmm.
on their journey.
Yeah.
I love to read and research about it, like to
Mm-hmm.
just read and learn and
Right.
figure it out.
And then you just do it.
Yeah.
Right? Part of the way you figure it out is just doing it. Because
Yeah.
sometimes is the reading and the research a buffer?
Sometimes, yes.
It is for me, just saying.
Yeah.
It's on my best, actually.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if I truly don't know, I like look, but then you can get sucked in and go too far.
Mm-hmm.
So yes and no.
Yes. Right. So if you're trying to figure out something for a website,
Yeah.
how are you going to figure that out?
Watch a YouTube video.
Yep. You're going to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
And you probably can figure it out in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you not have enough time? Do you not have 20 minutes?
No, I have 20 minutes. If I choose not to buffer and check Facebook instead of watching the video or,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's just a whole lot of possibilities that you can go to
Yeah.
when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because is that feeling of overwhelm going to go away?
Probably not.
Right? Because your brain is really good at thinking, I don't know how to do this and I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
But what happens if you feel capable? How do you think you'd show up?
Probably more confident.
Yeah. So that's also a feeling, is it confident?
I would.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What are you going to do if you feel capable and confident? Just kind of try that out and think, I can figure this out.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
You're going to try. You'll do the research you need to do.
Yeah. And then just try.
And then you'll do it. You'll do the thing.
Yeah.
And then what will your result be?
I will have accomplished something.
Yeah. You'll have accomplished a task.
Yeah.
You'll have figured it out.
Yeah.
But it's also okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. And when you get to that place of overwhelm, it's just really helpful to realize I'm feeling overwhelmed.
I think I get that way because I don't ask for help. And I have to realize that that's when I need to.
Right. And so that's another action.
When you need, ask for help or delegate.
Mm-hmm. Because in your body, what does it feel like to be capable? Like, just kind of think about that. Think that word. What does capable feel like? You can even just imagine that.
Yeah. Just makes you feel like He-Man.
Yeah.
Like I can do this.
Feel capable. Like you have that I can do. Okay.
Yeah.
What does overwhelm feel like in your body?
Like was it Atlas who held the world?
Yeah.
Just like that.
You feel burdened. And can you do anything else except be overwhelmed when you're overwhelmed?
Usually not.
Yeah.
I can hit the things that are just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like autopilot things, get
Yeah,
dressed,
so you're
take a shower.
holding, like you're holding the globe of overwhelm, right? You can't even see past it half the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you
So
can't.
either you're just going to be like, okay, Facebook, help me not feel overwhelmed. But then what does that do?
This makes me feel worse.
Yeah, it magnifies it
Yeah.
because you've just buffered away.
Yeah.
And you can't even see past the overwhelm that you're holding to actually do any action.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can just say, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I can figure this out. Right? And I can get the most important things done. And then the things that don't get done didn't need to get done because they didn't.
Yeah.
Right? That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever you didn't get done yesterday, right? It did not end. The world did not end.
Nope.
You're still alive. Your family is still okay. Your house is still standing. But when we're in that feeling of overwhelm, it can really literally feel like we are being crushed to death.
Yeah.
And that's physiologically what's happening inside of our body. Like, I am in mortal danger. I am going to die because of this nebulous to-do list that I'm not even looking at, I'm avoiding. It's the boogeyman out to get me. And so I'm going to avoid it at all costs. And then it just is this snowballing thing because if you didn't get anything done, it's grown.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've dealt with the overwhelm.
Yeah. I don't remember
Okay, what were the other two?
Oh, just drained. But I think that's a byproduct of the overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
And then just annoyed. I get really easily annoyed with my kids.
Okay,
and
let's
myself.
let's do annoyed. Let's do annoyed. Okay, so, and I'm going to put, I'm going to put Jennifer in the circumstance line.
Uh-oh.
And your feeling is annoyed.
Yes.
Right, because you're a circumstance.
Yeah.
And you are just a fact, right? And the things that you did yesterday, they're not good or bad. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the thought that you're having that's creating that feeling of being annoyed?
A lot of times it's with my kids. Like, I don't know what the thought is. They didn't do what I asked, they didn't do what I asked them to do, or they didn't do it exactly how I wanted it done, but I don't know how to make it.
It's not done right. You didn't do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
or just didn't do it.
Are you thinking that the same about yourself? Is that you didn't do it right?
Probably. So.
Yeah, you didn't do it right.
Yeah, I get into these nasty, it just goes in a circle in my head.
Well, and the interesting thing is, though, right? Yeah, our brains do it in a circle. You have the same brain, whether you're thinking about yourself or whether you're thinking about your kids.
Yeah.
It's still the same brain.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going to follow those same pathways. So you think you didn't do it right about your kids, and that same brain is thinking you didn't do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom, who's annoyed with your kids, and now you're annoyed with yourself.
For being annoyed with my kids.
For being annoyed with your kids.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
You didn't do it right. And so when you're annoyed, how do you act? What's the action?
Not nice, usually.
Not nice.
Lose my temper, lose my patience.
So you lose your temper.
Yelling is usually involved.
Yeah. Yell.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the result of that, losing temper and yelling?
Then I just feel even more that I didn't do it right and get more angry and get more
I
myself.
really didn't do it right.
Oh.
But isn't that crazy how every time whatever is happening here in our brain is what shows up in our life,
Yep, that's right.
right? How do you want to feel about your kids and about yourself?
Just that
Instead of annoyed.
we're trying.
Yeah. So if you think that thought, we're trying, or I'm trying,
Mhm.
what kind of feeling does that create for you? Does that still, I mean, does that get you to, does that feel any better than annoyed?
It does, because it makes me feel like I'm just making an effort or just even making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe a little patience or compassion?
yeah. Makes me realize that maybe they're trying too.
Yeah. I'm trying. They're trying.
Yep.
Well, my T looks kind of like an F there. They're frying.
Yeah.
They're trying,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
They didn't do it right, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do it right, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, even how does that feel?
Just better.
If we just add, I didn't do it right,
It's
and
okay.
that's okay. I'm a human being, and I don't do everything right.
Yeah. I
You
guess
know?
if you're trying, it makes me feel like, because you can always try again. Like you can
Yep.
you can keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, the end of it. Like I screwed up, that's the end. You can just keep trying.
Right. I'm just gonna put that's okay here too, because I think that lit up your face.
Yeah.
Because I think part of it is just the judgment of I didn't do it right, and so I'm bad.
Yeah.
There's something fundamentally wrong with me or with you, child, who was annoying me because you didn't do it right. Right? But
Yeah.
we could not do it right and that just be okay.
Yeah.
And then we can have a little bit of compassion and patience.
Yeah.
And when you feel compassion and patience, how do you think you act?
Nicer.
Yeah?
More kind.
Kind.
Yeah. Just kind and caring.
And allow another try.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so if you, right, are kind and allow another try,
Mm-hmm.
what will the result be?
Like we'll still just keep trying.
You'll just keep trying,
Yeah.
right? And everything will be okay.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it out eventually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But, when you get to that place where you're annoyed, because we go through this and you're like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I'm never going to be annoyed again.
Oh no.
Right. But that's
So I
not
have to keep trying.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you start to notice, you can just start noticing like when you get annoyed, what that feels like.
Yeah.
And just let yourself be annoyed and be really curious about it. Okay, I'm annoyed. What am I really annoyed about? What is really annoying me? And just keep asking yourself that question. How does this annoyance feel in my body? And how is this serving me? Is this helpful in any way?
No. A lot of
Right?
times, no. Yeah.
And then when you kind of can let yourself and really teach your brain, like this habit, this annoyed habit, it's not super helpful.
No, it's
Right?
not.
And then you can just be like, I did it wrong, and that's okay. I'm trying. They're trying too.
Yeah.
We're all just human beings trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so in the moment, right, you might not go from annoyed to compassionate all at once.
Yeah.
But your percentage of compassion will probably increase over time with practice.
Probably.
But it's also helpful, like, just to stick these thoughts places. Stick it up on your bathroom mirror or have it be the lock screen on your phone or whatever. When you come to those things like, I can figure this out,
Yeah.
right? That's basically the same thought we came to with the overwhelm.
Yep.
I'm trying. I can figure this out. I have enough time.
Yep.
Because are those things true? Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, are you trying? Yeah.
Got out of bed. So yeah, you are trying.
You're totally trying. You're really trying.
Yeah.
And you've figured out a lot of things. Do you figure things out?
Yes.
Yeah. And have you figured things out that you didn't think you would be able to figure out?
Yes.
Yeah. So are you capable?
Yeah.
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 You really are capable. And are you compassionate and patient?
Most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And annoyed.
Yes.
Right? You're annoyed sometimes too. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Overwhelmed, annoyed, and the other one was just
drained.
Drained.
But like I said, I think that was
They
just
all kind of go
the
together.
byproduct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just...
Hey, so as you guys talked about or thought about what emotions you want to have, we found some for Jennifer. We found capable and compassion or patient.
Yeah.
Patience. Those would be good antidotes to the overwhelm and annoyance.
Yeah.
What did you write down when you were doing your worksheets?
I wrote adequate, cheerful, and energetic.
Yeah.
The ones I wanted.
So adequate, that's capable, right?
Yeah.
So you can decide which one. I like capable better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. You can kind of try those on and just see what idea you like, how it feels in your body better.
Yeah, I like capable, but adequate makes you feel like you're just barely good enough. Like you'll just pass.
Like capable,
you're like, I got this.
Yeah, as I got this. Capable has a little bit of confidence mixed in. It's adequacy plus confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cheerful and energetic.
Yeah.
What kind of thoughts help you feel that?
I don't know. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
How about I can figure this out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that give you a sense of energy?
Yeah. So. Or just I enjoy doing this. I enjoy figuring it out. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Not just I can, but I enjoy it. And that makes me feel happy and cheerful. And
it
like,
does.
I enjoy figuring it out.
I enjoy figuring this out.
Yeah.
This homeschooling, this church calling, this whatever, this marriage, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to be here.
Yeah.
I totally do.
Yeah.
Right? Why are you homeschooling your kids?
Because it fits a military lifestyle. And we actually get to see my husband and my kids get to see their dad.
Yeah. Because you enjoy it.
Yeah. And we love it.
Mhm.
And we can take a vacation in the middle of October. That's why we homeschool.
Yeah. So you enjoy figuring this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can help you feel pretty cheerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So fun. Yeah. How about you, Kara? What are your top 3 that you want to feel?
So ones that I want to feel are secure,
Secure.
comfortable, and happy, which I do feel a lot. I think what I want there is to train my brain to remember that I do feel happy most of the time. Like, I
Uh-huh.
feel like it's so easy to, because happy and content for me are very similar. Like they just kind of use up that same space. And so I'll feel like happy and content, and it's this calm, peaceful thing. So I don't reflect on it very much. What I reflect on are, the overwhelm or the anxiety or the whatever it is, that might be negative or that's making it difficult. Like I reflect on those more intense emotions. They don't reflect as much on the contentment and the happy. So I feel like that's definitely an area where I want to turn my thoughts more, is remember that 60-70% of my day I do feel content and happy, and to enjoy that more, and to feel capable. um, I tend to feel very capable in callings, in LDSHE, and like the outside stuff. I don't always feel capable in my relationships. So working on that. And secure. And I feel like when I can get to that more secure place, then the capable and the relationship place kind of, they're kind of partners to each other.
Right.
That makes sense.
Well, I mean, do you know why it's easier for you to reflect on all the anxiety in your day?
Because it feels like something I need to fix. So it feels like, so I'm very much, Jennifer, like you, where I like to, and I buffer with it. And I totally recognize that more. Like I will research and study and make a plan so that I don't have to think about what I'm trying to research and study and make a plan about. Like it's just totally fun. Like, cause it's sneaky because it feels like productivity, but it isn't, because I'm not really implementing any of these plans. Like it's useful to research and make a plan
Yeah.
and then to go do it. But I often research and make a plan and then research and make a plan again and then do that again. And when
Right, because I just need to keep figuring this out.
Yeah,
Because your brain,
figuring it out, because my brain just wants to keep solving a problem. So it sees that as the problem.
right, your brain is
Yes.
always looking for a problem. And you need to be onto that. Like you
Yeah.
just need to be like, I'm onto you, brain.
Right.
Like you think that my life is in danger because I was annoyed today. And you're going to help me try to figure this out and do all the research I need to do to end this feeling. But
Right.
all we are wanting to really do is escape a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the research in the world is not going to help us escape that feeling.
Right.
Because the research is actually focusing our thoughts on the problem more.
Right. Right. And that's why I feel like it's sneaky, because it feels like your brain, like my brain talks me into saying, this will help you find the solution.
Mm-hmm.
But it is still
Yeah.
focusing on the problem. And I think I really saw that this week so much more than I've seen it before, as I've been reading The Power of TED and going, I'm not putting my brain in a creative place to focus on a solution. I'm really just focusing on the problem. And it's helped me this week a lot, because if I don't have a problem, I will replay, like my brain will go and replay issues like with my dad. Like you guys both know, things with my dad have been wild and crazy for the last little while. And I don't want to think that. Like I don't want that tension. Like it makes me feel tense and it makes me feel frustrated or sad or whatever. And I don't want that. But he's made it clear that he doesn't want to be part of any of the lives of any of us. So there isn't a problem. Like he's made his decision. Like he wants to live his own life. And that doesn't have to be a problem. I'm just reliving, past experience, bringing that problem back up, and then feeling tense, and then being reactive to my kids, and then seeing, that this or that, like it's just creating that whole cycle. But this week, when my brain starts going down I don't have something else to think about, let me think about dad path, I'm like, no, you're just trying to find a problem, and that is not a problem. Like he just wants to pretend, well, and this is judgy on my part, which I understand, but he wants to pretend he's 25 and live the life of a 25-year-old dating other women right now. That's his choice, and it's not my problem. So I don't need to figure it out.
Right. It's not a problem that it's not your problem to solve.
Right. It's not a problem to him. So it's not a problem for me to have to solve. And even if it was a problem to him, it's still not my problem. It's a problem I need to figure out.
Right.
I need to, focus, because it distracts me from being productive with my family and being present with my family.
Right. And what you want is to feel secure and capable.
Right.
Right.
And then when I'm distracted from my family, I feel less secure and less capable of doing what I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And showing up the right way for my kids and my husband, because I'm so distracted over here. And so then I see, like we were talking about before, then I just see my inadequacies when I'm not doing it right, because I spent my day distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't feel so secure and I don't feel so capable. So it's like,
so what can you think? I mean, I'm just gonna say, here's Kara. Kara's life with her crazy, I'm not gonna say crazy, with the circumstance of her dad, who
he's very mentally ill. And the thought that I come back to with him, where like when my mind goes that way, is he has a lot of diagnosed mental illnesses. Mm-hmm. And that's like his circumstance to deal with, not mine.
Right. It is. Well, it's yours in that he's your dad.
Yeah.
He's got a lot on his plate. He's got diagnosed mental illnesses.
And extreme ones, like he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia. That's not a small.
No, it's not.
So he's got a lot on his plate. Yeah.
Right. And he's got big problems. That's a fine thought to have.
Right.
It's okay to think he has big.
It's helpful to me to give him compassion and not just.
Right. He has really big problems, but they're not my problem. His problems are not my problem.
Right.
Right. But what could help you feel secure? Is that sense of anxiety mostly from your dad?
No, I've had that all the time. He's just a topic that brings it up a lot. I have experienced that, and this is where like I am sure, like I'm very positive that it is very medical, like it's very metabolic. I've experienced that anxiety since I was as small as I can remember. Like some of my first memories when I was really, really young were anxiety related. So the things that bring up the anxiety can be everything from, I had a friend that wanted to go to the PA farm show, and it's in Harrisburg, and there's like Beltway, and it's Harrisburg Beltway, which isn't even like terrible, but driving in new situations can sometimes be exciting for me and sometimes cause anxiety. It's kind of,
Well, and just think about,
anxiety is the circumstance. I really liked when you said that. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever really been able to like see it that way. So if I am having anxiety, if I'm having a day where my circumstance, the chemicals in my brain, then I can assign all types of things to the anxiety. I can say I'm afraid of the anxiety is my kids' well-being, or the anxiety is because my husband's upset, or the anxiety is because someone's mad at me at church, or the anxiety is whatever. Like the anxiety could be finances, or it could be health, or it could be whatever. But none of those circumstances are consistent. They don't always give me anxiety. I can go drive. I've driven my kids up to Michigan and back, and I was fine. It didn't give me anxiety. But one day, driving up to Harrisburg sounds like the scariest thing on the planet.
well, and it's interesting because you said anxiety. Sometimes you feel anxiety about something, and sometimes you feel excitement.
Yes.
How do those feel in your body?
They feel so similar, but one is accompanied by eager, and the other is accompanied by hesitancy, like fear.
Right. Kind of like this will be fun. Yeah, excitement is this will be fun anxiety.
Right.
They're so closely related.
They really, really
and how we experience them in our bodies.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you can just say, I'm really excited about something. Like, this will be fun. Right? And, I must be really excited about something. And sometimes that can really shift.
Yeah. Because I'm always, like I said, well, not always, but it's easy for me to try and like find that I have to figure out why I'm having the anxiety. So filling in that sentence, I'm not having, like, I don't feel this feeling because something bad's going to happen. Maybe I'm feeling this feeling something exciting, something fun is going to happen.
Yeah.
And fill that, once that feeling hits, fill it with a thought, redirect the thought to something unexpected and fun is really going to happen today. And that's what I'll look for.
Mm-hmm.
Julia fell down the stairs. Of course I had anxiety this morning because that was the precursor to her falling down the stairs, or, whatever. But,
right. Well, and I think it can be helpful for you to put that anxiety in the circumstance line and see that it's completely neutral. It's not good or bad. You don't need to judge it.
To me, because I do judge it, and your analogy of pushing a beach ball down, that's like my entire relationship with anxiety.
Yeah.
I am always trying to push it down, and then it's always coming up bigger. I was dropping Anna off at work, and it was just me in the car after I dropped her off, and I was singing to the radio, and it just reminded me that one of my best mechanisms to let myself feel whatever I'm going to feel is to find a song that talks about that and sing it. And just, the song's like 3 minutes, and then it's like I've dealt with it, I've processed it, I've given myself that, I've let myself feel it, and then I go along with the rest of my day. And so that was a really cool thought, is just to help me redirect and find a song. If you're feeling, find a depressing song.
That's an awesome action.
A happy song, because that action helps me feel whatever I need to feel and then let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Well, and so, when you come up with those anxieties, like, this is going to be fun, or something fun is going to happen, that might be a good thought for you to go to. And that might even create that feeling of feeling capable. Right. I don't know. What can we do to help you feel secure? What do you think?
I like the idea of looking at the ways that I am safe, like looking at, I'm in a warm house. I
am safe. Yeah. And I am fully clothed. Right? Like, I am not exposed to the world.
So,
yeah, and you can just start naming, like, thinking of all those things I have a house.
find
I ate
those
breakfast this morning.
very big truths. You know, I'm not in danger. I'm not, nobody's yelling at me, or nobody's angry, nobody's attacking my children. You know, like I'm
Yeah.
not being attacked. I'm in a house and my kids are running around and playing, and then I live in a safe neighborhood. Nothing scary is happening outside of my door. You know, and even if it was, nothing scary is happening inside of these four walls. You know, like to kind of to start
Mm-hmm.
looking at my physical surroundings to help, again, because I am an abstract thinker, to give some concrete proof
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's helpful.
I think that'll be powerful for you. And just as we wrap up for the day, right? As you just bring more awareness to things, then you can just be more intentional about the fuel that you drive your life with, right? Because that's what our emotions really are. They are the fuel that makes our action happen. And we get to design those with the way that we're thinking. But it's not, you know, we're not going to be perfect at it. And so we shouldn't judge ourselves if we're having a bad day. Like, there's that talk by Elder Packer. I wish I could remember. I read it several years ago, but he just said, like, if you're going to have a bad day, have a really bad day. Like, experience it all the way. Feel all the sadness. Do all the crying. Just really let yourself have a bad day. That's okay. Because we're not going to think everything better. Because our lives are 50-50. 50% of the time, we're going to feel some negative emotion. There's opposition in all things. So, right, Kara, you're feeling 60% of the day is happy. Like, you're like ahead of the curve, ball. Right? And right, there is equal opposition in all things. And that's just, that's just kind of a general rule. There's the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Right? There's the light and the dark. We have daytime and we have nighttime. That is just the nature of life. And so we can be overwhelmed sometimes, and we can be capable. And we don't need to judge ourselves when half of our day we felt uncomfortable or annoyed or scared. They're just like, yeah, that's what it's like to be a human being. I get to feel some anxiety and some fear and some annoyance half the day because I'm human. and then we can just realize that that's okay. And the interesting thing that happens is maybe some of those emotions that we label as negative, we don't experience as such as an emergency anymore.
Yeah.
Because we can handle it. And like doing things that are hard that we haven't ever done before take some determination, right? And determination is not necessarily like a really good feeling emotion. Like you have to be pushing against something. There's some resistance there.
Right.
You know, it doesn't feel the same as like cheerfulness. But cheerfulness doesn't always get things done.
Yeah.
And so once we're able to just tolerate some discomfort in our body sometimes, when we're just able to tolerate the fact that the chemical signals that our brain is giving to our body we don't necessarily like, and we would rather just go eat some chocolate to make it go away. Right? If we can just feel it and act the way that we want to, then we have a whole lot more power to get done the things that we want to do. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you. That was a fun call. I'm anxious to see how you guys use your new thoughts, if they help you. So let me know. And, schedule your private coaching anytime you're ready. Kara and I had a really good call last week. So
I just keep forgetting.
yeah. So it's there. I should just remind everyone.
Yes.
And keep sending the link out. But
Yeah.
Like I left that call just feeling like so uplifted and full of possibility. It was awesome. So
yay.
it's totally worth remembering. And
Yeah.
so anyway,
Good.
thank you.
Yeah, it's just kind of helpful to have someone look at your brain and you're like, wait, I thought it was just a fact that I don't do anything right. I know, that's just a thought. It's totally optional.
Yeah.
I don't have to believe that.
Like me and yoga.
Yes. Right? That's just a thought. That tall people aren't made to do yoga.
I didn't say I wasn't made to do yoga. There's some moves that I've never been able to do my entire life.
Well, and that's fine. That's totally fine. That's what chairs and blankets and straps and all those kinds of things are for, right? Yeah, like our body is a circumstance.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot. It's totally neutral. It's not good or bad.
Yep.
But part of the point of yoga is that we try to make the pose fit our body and not try to force our body into something. But
that's good.
Anyway, just keep trying. And our next one is bedtime yoga on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll just roll around on the floor mostly. All right. Have a good rest of your week, ladies. Thank you.
You too. Bye.